Recent research from GFW Research has shown that houses like this in Jesmond could vary in capital value by over £100,000. Why is that? It could be to do with a change in planning legislation in 2010 which Newcastle City adopted. In 2010, the government introduced a new use class, C4 use class, which was for houses that were to be used as houses of multiple occupancy, HMOs, which were for 3 to 6 unconnected individuals. Family homes and houses let to people for unconnected individuals less than 3 in number would continue to be known as C3. At the same time, the government introduced permitted development rights, which allowed people to move from one use class to the other without any form of correspondence to the council. However, in 2010, Newcastle City Council chose to use this use class as a method of control in areas such as this. They introduced an Article 4 direction which effectively removed the permitted development rights and meant that anyone wanting to let their house out to 3 to 6 unconnected individuals would have to apply for full planning permission had they not done so before. I'm with Jenny Patterson, planning consultant from George F. White, who's here to tell us why. Jenny, can you explain why the council would introduce an Article 4 direction of this type?
Yes. Newcastle City Council is keen to ensure mixed communities. In communities such as Jesmond, the large number of HMOs has had significant impacts upon the community. For example, during term time, Jesmond is buzzing with life and students are everywhere. Parking becomes difficult, and given the number of students and their lifestyles, this can often be disruptive for families and couples. During the holidays, however, the community becomes much quieter, and streets which are predominantly occupied by students are largely abandoned, and the businesses feel the knock-on effects.
What are the common problems in areas with a high concentration of HMOs?
Common problems in such areas are antisocial behaviour and nuisance, crime, parking pressures, poor upkeep of premises, and the retail adapts to suit the predominant population.
Holly Armstrong of GFW Lettings explains how this could impact on investors in the area.
The difference in rental income through being able to let the house to say 6 people or to just a family of 2 individuals could be marked. GFW Research showed that properties such as these could have a difference of nearly £5,500 per annum. That's a 37% increase in rental return.
Holly, how does this affect capital value?
As the difference in return becomes more marked, Claire, there is evidence of a difference in capital values too. Over £100,000 for the same size property on the same street has become evident.
Why does this vary so much?
Where investors want to specifically target the student or house of multiple occupancy market in the area, they'll probably be in the know about the Article 4 direction, and those properties that they target will probably already have C4 use class. Where there is potential for concern is where investors want to perhaps purchase a house, live in it themselves as a family, and then let it out to perhaps 3 to 6 young professionals, keeping the property in a good clean order or nice friendly community-led streets like here in Larkspur Terrace. If the house is C3 use, it's unlikely that the council will grant permission to C4 use, and then the opportunity to not only let it out to more people for more return, but to widen the tenant search to different markets reduces.
What happens if you want to adjust from C3 to C4 use class?
If you want to adjust class, then there could be the issue of abandonment. If an investor chooses to return to live in a property that previously had C4 use and uses it as their family home, the C4 use class has been abandoned and the opportunity for increased rental return has been removed, and the problem of a possible reduction in capital value arises. It's important for investors to know the location on a street by street basis that they're wishing to invest their money in. Trends of areas does not truly reflect the local marketplace.
So with the development of this 2-tier property market in Jesmond, it's really important for investors to take advice, look carefully at the property requirements that they need and the area that they're in. What do they want to achieve from that property, say now, in 5 or in 10 years' time? It's likely that Jesmond still offers the right property at the right price in the right place, and it's going to give the right returns, but added knowledge about the location can only be a good thing. With student numbers increasing across areas of Newcastle, Newcastle City Council are probably going to introduce more Article 4 directions. These areas shouldn't be avoided because there are opportunities, but investors need to be confident that they have full knowledge of that very local market before they invest.